I want to take a few moments and to show you how to use Trello, www.trello.com, as a project management solution. So up to this point, I hope that you've been following along and that you know you need to go through the initiation phase of a project, dream about it, and you want to conceptualize a dream, then you want to communicate the dream, so you want to think through, then you want to imagine who are your key stakeholders, and you want to interview them, get them involved, define success. And then once success is clearly defined, you want to communicate that out to everybody. You've been through all of that, and you've also then began brainstorming out the different steps of your project, all that you need to do to get this project accomplished. And now you're ready, with all those steps brainstormed out, mind mapped out, you're ready to actually put those steps into a software solution that can help you track them and keep control of them better. And you want to try Trello as your software solution. Some of the benefits of Trello. Trello is free, so right there, how can you beat that? There's no cost at all to it. Just go to Trello.com and sign up, and there you go. It's a free solution. The other thing about Trello is it's actually very good for the price. And you can organize different lists and different phases, add files, do discussions. So it's very collaborative, and that's a great benefit as well. Some of the downfalls, it's not quite as pretty as like Basecamp would be. It's not as attractive looking, not quite as intuitive. You need a little bit of training to kind of figure out how it thinks and how it works, which I hope to give you right now. And you know, it's just not a super high-speed solution, but it's fairly effective, especially considering the cost that you're going to pay. So let me show you a little bit about Trello and how to use it. Obviously, you would log on to Trello.com, and once you've logged on, you're going to see a screen similar to this. Now, I have several boards. Let me just explain some terminology to you right away. Trello operates in boards, cards, and boards, lists, and cards. Boards, lists, and cards. Your boards would be your various projects, and you can see I've done a little bit of that here in my own Trello. But I'm going to start a new board, so I'm going to come up here and click on boards, and then I'm going to go ahead and start a new one. Actually, I'm sorry, I clicked the wrong one. I'm going to come over here and click this plus symbol, and then click on New Board. And this board is going to be Praise in the Park. And Praise in the Park is a event that we want to do. And this is going to be a collaborative effort of various churches in the area. We're hoping to get various worship teams involved, find the Central Park location here in Fort Wayne, and have several different churches collaborate together and open up to obviously the community, have everyone invite their friends and neighbors, and have a real evangelistic gospel message presented. And hopefully we'll, get churches working together who are on the same mission, give our people an opportunity to invite their friends and to hear the gospel. So a lot of great things. Now, I've already sat down and mind mapped out a initial work breakdown structure. So just a first steps that I want to be taking along the way here. And so this is it. This is what I've mind mapped out. I've used MindNote. I have a video up to show you how to use MindNote if you'd like to use it. But I thought through it, have this here, and now I'm going to actually use that in Trello. Now, when you first start a board in Trello, you'll notice it gives you these three lists: to do, doing, done, and that just simply doesn't work well in my world. And so what I've done instead, often when I use Trello, is I'll rename these. So I'm going to call this, instead of doing, I'm going to leave the to-do up. I'm going to call this documents. In case we have documents to share, we can do it there. Then I'm going to title this one discussions. So if you watch the video on Basecamp, you'll notice Basecamp has the same kind of discussion, same kind of document holder. So this is kind of along that same line. And I'm going to put all of my to-dos in one list. So again, the board is Praise in the Park. The list I'm going to operate in right now is called to do. So what I'm going to do now is add a card. And cards are actually going to be the different phases of the project. So I'm going to call this card Initiation Phase. And I'm going to press Enter, but now I'm going to come back here and edit that card. And what I can do is several different things. I'm going to I can add members, so I can add people here if I wanted to. I'll show you that and get in just a moment. I can add comments, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a checklist. So I'm going to click on checklist, and I'm going to call this checklist recruitment. And where did I get that? I got that from my mind map over here, and you notice that one of my things is recruit the team, and so I'm just going to go ahead and call that list recruitment. And then here I'm going to add my items. So call pastors, call worship dudes. What else do I have over here? Finalize the team. Probably add in here. Meet with potential team members. Finalize the team. And then initial. I can't spell that word. Initial project meeting. And you see I just type, press enter, type, press enter, type, press enter, and all this to-do list comes right up there. Now if I wanted to add another checklist, I can simply click checklist and name this checklist. So let's call this logistics brainstorm, just to show you how you can actually go down pretty deep and just by adding these different items. So logistics brainstorm, I have brainstorm who we need, brainstorm what we need, etc., etc. So you can see in this one initiation phase to-do list card, I actually am able to have various levels of lists. So in other words, this lets me drill down a little further than what Basecamp will allow me to do. Now from here, I could add labels for better searching. I can put a due date. Unfortunately, not to the individual task, but to the whole phase, but that's okay. That works pretty well. So I could do that there. I can add attachment of documents. I can do all those things, or I can simply have a discussion by running comments. So a lot of things I can do here. And when I close out, you'll see there I have an initiation phase card, and by clicking it, this comes back up again. And anyone who is a part of this will be able to see the same things. What I would do is just finish this out, put every phase in there, all the steps, and that would help me organize that a little bit better. Let me show you how to add people to a project, and that's as easy as coming over here and clicking on Add Members. And what you would simply do is either search them by name if you've already added them to Trello, or just type in an email address, and it would send an email invitation to that person to become a part of that. And once they get that, they'll establish their own username and password. Their email becomes their username. They'll figure out a password, and they can log in and be able to use this as well. And so these other lists work just the same as this one does, but I would save this one for documents. In other words, only add files to this one, and this one for discussions, and just kind of keep it going that way. So an okay tool. I think it allows you some pretty in-depth organization and collaboration features. But again, it's free, so how in the world can you complain about that? So I hope that that's helpful to you, and hopefully you'll be able to use Trello, if that's your choice, to manage projects more effectively.